I'm here to talk about issues in Venezuela. I mean, earlier in the year, earlier last year, they were having problems because of the term limits that they have there, and the current leader, at the end of his term, was trying to put forth legislation that would allow him to run again, and it failed by a small margin. Now, somehow, and somewhere in his mind, um, that was grounds for him to either have it go through or to put it back on the ballot of a vote. Well, that was the issue about a year ago, I guess. But since that time, things have gotten much worse. It appears that for some time now, things have been pretty bad for the poor in the country because their economy was based upon the oil and the price of oil and the money that they made from this oil. And in recent years, the prices have been just bottoming out to the point to where the social programs that this oil paid for, the money for those programs just kind of ran dry. So that left most of the country, the poor, just out of the loop, already being disenfranchised by the fact that they're not really a part of the decision making and they're not really a part of the economy. At least they had something and someone there that was appearing to care about them and appearing to offer some assistance to get them through the hard times that they were going through. Now that the price of oil has been gradually decreasing over the years, you have people in place that are not going to sacrifice their good lives just to ensure that there are people who don't have a lot, can make it. They're kind of like sort of on their own, Well, all that's been good and fine with the country because you have you have the leaders and then you have the haves, which is, very small, but you have a lot of have-nots. And up until now, it appears that this issue has been affecting mostly the have-nots. So, they're up demonstrating, protesting, and doing all these things, and, the government saying, go home, sit down, we do what we can. But in recent months, further drops, decreases in the value of oil and the ability to get it out has led to not only these poor, disenfranchised people having issues, but the rich, the more well-to-do people are now having issues. So they're out in the streets protesting that government, saying, it's your fault that we now have to live like the disenfranchised from the other side of town. So in the last 3 to 4 months, or at least since March, pretty much been protesting every day. When you take a look at it, all along they weren't doing really bad, but recently they kind of really doing bad. I guess if you look at America, as long as the poor is poor and they're just barely getting by, but they're getting by, the rich will be the same way. Okay, it's not that bad, but as soon as something will start to happen to them, then the concentration will be, who did this? Why is this happening to us? And of course the focus and the anger will be directed towards the government. Let's take a look at North Korea. North Korea been in the news now for about 3 years, and up until a few days ago, most of what this individual has been doing, clear signs of just bluffing. He's trying to get things to work. He's trying to get missiles in the air. He's trying to test rockets. There's been a lot of testing. And there's been a lot of stuff pointing at his close neighbors and threats towards, his neighbors across the pond. In the last 3 or 4 days, he has successfully launched a long-range missile that's capable of possibly the west coast of the United States. So all the stuff he done in the past and he got the slap on the wrist for, and and the failed sanctions and all the other stuff that he just kind of went, looked the other way and just kind of let off. I don't think he's going to get away with that this time. I think a little more serious things are, coming their way, because recently our president, Trump, chastised China for the way that they dealt with North Korea, and for the first few days there were almost no response. It was just they're very quiet about it, suggesting that it was either true or there was more to it than what was being, put out in the media. I tend to believe there's both. That there's more to it than what's in the media, and that it tends to be the truth. There's a lot of things I've seen in the last couple of days that I can't comment on here, but in my opinion, in the next coming weeks and months, some of the things that this guy have been doing over the last 4 or 5 years is going to really seriously come back to haunt him. I mean, the world wasn't too concerned about. They were concerned, but not to the point to where he's firing these missiles he can reach his neighbors. So we run next door and we try to shore up the neighbor. Now he's got the capability that he's shown us that he can not only reach his neighbors, but he can reach us. It's summer at the moment. It's July. If nothing else, it's going to be a long, cold winter in North Korea, and in my estimation, the country nor this individual may not make it through most of the winter. I guess that's yet to be seen, but I'm speaking from a little bit of inside information, plus what I see out here in the media. So stand by for what's going on in both Venezuela and in Korea, North Korea. I think a lot about the people that are there, the innocents, that are, especially in North Korea, that's going to be caught up in whatever actions are taken over the next 5 or 6 months. And I feel for the people in Venezuela who, chances are, either way, the poor people are not going to win right away. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope and pray that things happen for these people a lot better than what's going on right now. Thank you.